Hey everyone, and welcome back to Love Hackers. It's your daily dose of dating advice.
Daily Dose.
That's right. I'm Alex Carter,
And I'm Sophie Tanaka.
and we are ready to help you crack the code of love.
That's right, Alex. We are diving deep today, folks.
Ooh, deep dive.
Exploring what women over 40 really need in a partner.
Really need.
This isn't about guessing games or outdated stereotypes.
No.
It's about understanding what builds a truly strong connection at this stage in life.
Okay, so let's get real for a second.
Let's do it.
Women over 40 are not looking for someone to complete them.
Hmm.
They have already found themselves.
Yes.
They've built their lives.
Absolutely.
And they're not waiting around for Prince Charming.
Exactly. You're not rescuing her.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
joining her on an incredible journey.
Love that.
Forget those fairy tales about damsels in distress.
Yeah.
We're talking about independent, self-sufficient women
Yes.
who know what they want and how to get it.
So if she's not looking for a knight in shining armor, what does she need from a partner?
Think less about fixing her problems
Okay.
and more about being a rock-solid source of emotional support.
Emotional support.
By this point, she's got a good handle on life.
Yeah, she does.
But that doesn't mean she doesn't need someone to lean on.
And that support looks different for everyone, right?
Absolutely.
It's not just about grand gestures.
Right.
It's about those everyday moments of connection.
It's about being present when she shares her day,
Mm-hmm.
her worries, her triumphs.
Yeah.
But it goes deeper than just hearing her words.
Okay.
Imagine she's had a stressful week at work.
Okay.
Does she need to vent?
Maybe.
Does she want to be whisked away for a relaxing weekend?
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Maybe she just needs some quiet time alone to recharge.
So it's about paying attention to her cues.
Exactly.
Understanding what actually makes her feel supported.
Yes.
You're not imposing your idea of what she needs.
No.
You're meeting her where she is.
Exactly. And, this leads us to a crucial skill.
I'm listening.
Active listening.
Ooh, active listening.
Think about it. By the time a woman reaches her 40s,
Yeah.
she's probably dealt with a lot of people who pretend to listen,
Mm-hmm.
but are really just waiting for their turn to talk.
Oh, I've definitely been guilty of that myself.
But she can see right through it, can't she?
Oh,
Absolutely. She's honed her BS detector over the years.
for sure.
Active listening is about showing her that her words,
Okay.
her thoughts,
Uh-huh.
her feelings genuinely matter to you.
Matter.
You're not just nodding along,
Yeah.
you're engaged.
So what does that look like in practice?
It's about focusing on what she's saying.
Okay.
Asking questions that show you're paying attention,
Uh-huh.
maybe reflecting back what you hear
Yeah.
to make sure you're understanding her correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It's about those little cues that say,
Okay.
I'm not just here physically,
Yeah.
I'm here with you mentally and emotionally.
So it's not just about being in the same room.
Right.
It's about being on the same wavelength.
Precisely. And that brings us to another important point. Two-way communication.
Two-way.
Women over 40 value open, honest dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be heard,
Yes.
and they expect their partners to be equally open in return.
Because a relationship can't thrive on one-sided conversations, can it?
No, it cannot.
It's about creating a safe space
Yes.
where both people feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings.
Yes.
Even the tough ones.
Exactly. And, as we navigate the complexities of life in our 40s,
Mm-hmm.
things can get messy, right?
They can.
We've got careers, families, maybe even some baggage from previous relationships.
So how do we avoid those communication pitfalls that can trip us up?
Well, one thing I see a lot is the tendency to shut down
Mm.
or withdraw when things get difficult.
Yeah.
It might feel easier to avoid conflict in the moment,
Sure.
but believe me, sweeping things under the rug just creates bigger problems down the road.
It's like that saying, ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away.
Right.
It just gives it time to grow.
Exactly. Another common trap is getting stuck in negative communication patterns. Ooh.
You know the same arguments over and over
Yep.
without really resolving anything.
Oh, I've been there.
It's like you're both on autopilot,
Yeah.
reciting the same lines, but nothing changes.
Right.
It becomes less about the issue itself
Hmm.
and more about winning the argument.
Yeah.
The key is to recognize those patterns
Okay.
and actively work on changing them.
So how do you do that?
Maybe it's about taking a time out when things get heated.
Okay.
Maybe it's about finding a new way to express your needs.
So it's not just about communicating more.
Right.
It's about communicating better.
Yes.
It's about finding those strategies that help you and your partner truly connect,
Exactly.
even when things are tough.
And Alex, when it comes to building a truly solid connection with a woman over 40, there's one thing that's absolutely non-negotiable.
Hit me with it.
Trust.
Trust. Okay.
It makes sense. By this point, she's probably seen her fair share of broken promises
Yeah.
and half-truths.
Yeah, she's not interested in playing games.
Yeah. Or wasting her time on someone who's not trustworthy.
Exactly. She's learned that trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship.
Oh, okay.
It's about knowing that you're there for her,
Yeah.
that your words match your actions,
Hmm.
and that she can count on you no matter what.
So how can a guy show her that he's worthy of that trust?
That's the question.
It seems like it goes beyond just saying, trust me.
Oh, for sure.
Words are cheap.
Absolutely. It's about showing her through your actions
Okay.
that you're reliable, honest, and straightforward.
Okay.
If you're not ready for something, say so.
Got it.
Don't beat around the bush or string her along.
So it's about being upfront about your intentions.
Yes.
Being vulnerable enough to let her in.
Yes.
And being consistent in your words and actions.
Exactly.
Basically walking the walk,
Yes.
not just talking the talk.
Consistency is key.
I like it.
If you say you're going to do something, follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Show her that you're a man of your word.
Yeah.
That builds that foundation of reliability that's so important in a relationship.
Now let's address a common misconception.
Okay, let's do it.
The idea that women over 40 don't care about romance anymore.
Oh, gosh. Is there any truth to that?
Not even close.
Really?
While her definition of romance might have evolved,
Okay.
the desire to feel pursued and cherished is definitely still there.
So it's less about grand gestures
Right.
and more about the thoughtfulness behind the actions.
Exactly. It's about making her feel special,
Okay.
seen and appreciated.
I like it.
It's about those small everyday gestures that say, I'm thinking about you.
Mm.
Or I went out of my way to do this for you because you're special to me.
And this is where a guy who can take the lead really shines.
Yes.
It's not about being domineering or controlling.
No.
It's about showing her that you're confident
Yes.
and invested in building the relationship.
Absolutely. Taking the lead means initiating dates,
Okay.
planning things that align with her interests.
Being proactive in your communication.
Got it.
Women over 40 don't want to have to do all the heavy lifting in the romance department.
I hear that.
They've graduated from the chase me phase.
They're looking for a partner who's an active participant.
Exact.
Someone who's eager to create those special moments.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
build a life together.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that a woman in her 40s
Mm-hmm.
has a full life outside of the relationship.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Friends, career, maybe kids' hobbies.
Right.
Respecting her world is crucial.
You can't expect her to drop everything
No.
and revolve her life around you.
No, you can't.
She's got her own rhythm, her own commitments.
Absolutely.
And it's about honoring that.
It's about understanding that her time and commitments are valuable
Yeah,
and that sometimes those things might take priority.
for sure.
Be flexible, be understanding,
Yeah.
and show her that you value her world
Uh-huh.
as much as you value spending time with her.
Now, we've talked a lot about the emotional side of things.
We-
But let's be real here. Presentation matters, too.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, first impressions count for something.
And this isn't about conforming to some unrealistic standard of beauty.
Okay.
It's about taking pride in your appearance,
Mm-hmm.
showing up as the best version of yourself.
It's like saying, I care enough to put in the effort
Exactly.
without being over the top.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
If she's taking the time to look and feel her best,
Yeah,
it's a nice gesture to meet her at that level.
I agree.
It shows that you value the occasion, that you respect her,
Uh-huh.
and that you care about making a good impression.
Okay, so maybe skip the sneakers and baseball cap for a dinner date.
Right.
Unless that's her thing, of course.
It's about reading the room, being mindful of the context,
Yeah.
and showing her that you're putting in the effort.
Now, when we talk about independence,
Yeah.
are we talking about being a lone wolf?
No, not at all.
Okay,
Totally self-sufficient to the point of pushing people away.
got it.
It's more about having your own life together. Okay.
Being a well-rounded individual who can contribute to the relationship as an equal partner,
Uh-huh.
being financially independent is definitely a big one.
Okay.
Women over 40 aren't looking to be anyone's sugar mama.
They're looking for a partner, not a project.
Exactly.
Someone who can share the responsibilities and joys of life,
Yes.
not add to their burden.
And this extends beyond finances.
Okay.
Being self-sufficient in other areas of life is super attractive too.
Like what?
Knowing how to cook clean, do laundry,
Mm.
those skills show that you can take care of yourself.
It's like saying, I'm not expecting you to pick up after me or
Right.
cater to my every need.
Exactly.
I'm a grown man who can handle his own life.
And Alex, I think we have to address the elephant in the room here.
Okay, let's do it.
There's sometimes this assumption that men are intimidated by strong, successful women.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I think it's more about insecurity than intimidation.
Interesting.
A confident man is attracted to a woman who knows her worth.
Okay. He sees her success as a turn-on, not a threat.
I couldn't agree more.
It's like that saying you can't dim someone else's light
Mm,
by refusing to shine your own light.
right.
A truly confident man wants his partner to shine bright.
Exactly. So, guys, if you find yourself feeling intimidated by a woman's achievements,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to do some introspection
Yes.
and work on building your own confidence.
I love it.
Celebrate her successes, support her ambitions,
Mm-hmm.
and let her light inspire you to shine brighter too.
That's great advice.
And remember, women over 40 bring so much to the table.
Oh, yeah.
Experience, wisdom, resilience, and a whole lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
They're not afraid to be vulnerable, to share their stories, and to connect on a deeper level.
They know what they want. They're not afraid to go after it, and they're looking for a partner who can match their energy and enthusiasm for life.
Speaking of energy and enthusiasm,
Mhm.
let's circle back to that idea of respecting her world. Remember, she's got a life outside of the relationship, friends, hobbies, career, maybe even kids. And that's something to celebrate, not feel threatened by.
Right. She's not sitting around waiting for someone to complete her. She's got her own thing going on,
Yeah.
and that's incredibly attractive.
Exactly. Imagine this. You meet a woman who's passionate about her work, who has a close circle of friends, who loves trying new things. That's a woman who brings vibrancy and excitement to the relationship.
It's like she's adding a whole new dimension to your life,
Yeah.
expanding your horizons, introducing you to new things.
Absolutely. And it keeps things interesting. You get to experience life through her eyes, learn new things, maybe even step outside your comfort zone a little. It's a win-win.
So rather than feeling intimidated by her independence, a guy should see it as an opportunity to grow and explore.
Precisely. And this ties back into respect.
Okay.
Respecting her time, her commitments, her need for space when she needs it, trying to control or limit her, is a recipe for disaster.
It's about trusting her to manage her own life, to make her own decisions, and to be her own person.
Exactly. And, this brings me to something I hear a lot from men, the fear of not being enough for a woman over 40.
Oh yeah, this comes up all the time.
Yeah.
Guys worry that they don't have enough experience, enough success, enough whatever to keep up with a woman who's got it going on.
It's like they're comparing resumes instead of connecting on a human level.
Yeah.
Focusing on those external markers of success rather than the qualities that truly matter in a relationship.
So what's the antidote to that fear? What should a guy focus on instead?
Authenticity.
Authenticity.
Women over 40 aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for realness.
Okay.
They've learned that those picture-perfect relationships often come with a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
They want someone who's genuine, who's not afraid to show his flaws, who's willing to be vulnerable.
Because let's face it, we're all a work in progress.
Right.
We all have our quirks, our insecurities, our baggage. It's part of what makes us human.
Exactly. And that's what makes life interesting. Trying to be someone you're not is exhausting and ultimately unsustainable.
So guys, if you're feeling insecure about dating a woman over 40, remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace your imperfections. Own them and let her see the real you.
Because at the end of the day, it's the connection, the chemistry, the shared values that truly matter.
It's about finding someone who accepts you for who you are, flaws and all, and who challenges you to be the best version of yourself.
And speaking of baggage, let's talk about something that comes with age and experience, the past.
Okay.
We all have it right. Past relationships,
Yeah.
heartbreaks, maybe even some lingering insecurities.
It's part of the human experience. It shapes who we are, teaches us valuable lessons, and hopefully helps us grow.
Exactly. But the key is how we handle it. Are we letting our past define us, or are we using it as an opportunity to learn and grow?
Because a woman over 40 has probably learned a thing or two about dealing with baggage, she's not going to be surprised or scared off by it.
Absolutely. In fact, she might even appreciate your honesty and self-awareness, but there's a difference between being honest about your past and letting it dominate the present.
Right. You don't want to dwell on the past or let it sabotage your future.
It's about finding that balance between acknowledging your baggage without letting it weigh you down. So if you're still carrying a lot of hurt or resentment from past relationships, it might be worth doing some inner work before diving into a new one.
Therapy, journaling, whatever, helps you process those emotions and move forward with a clear heart and an open mind.
Exactly. You don't want to bring those old patterns and insecurities into a new relationship.
You want to be able to show up as your best self, ready to create something new and beautiful with someone who appreciates you for who you are, past and all.
Now let's let's talk about something that's often seen as a taboo topic, especially as we get older: sex.
Is it still important in a relationship when you're over 40?
Absolutely. In fact, it can be even better.
Now you've got my attention. Tell me more.
Well, think about it. By this point, you're more comfortable in your own skin. You know what you like, and you're not afraid to ask for it. There's less pressure to perform, less awkwardness, and more freedom to explore and experiment.
There's a certain confidence that comes with age and experience. Isn't there? You're not worried about what the other person thinks. You're just focused on enjoying the moment and connecting with your partner.
Exactly. And let's be honest, you've probably got a few more tricks up your sleeve by then.
But it's not just about the physical aspect. It's about the emotional intimacy that comes with being truly comfortable with someone.
You're not just having sex, you're making love. You're connecting on a deeper level, sharing a part of yourself that's vulnerable and intimate.
And that's something that can deepen and evolve as the relationship grows.
Exactly. So, guys, don't let anyone tell you that sex after 40 is boring or predictable. It can be the most fulfilling and passionate experience of your life.
But like any aspect of a relationship, it takes communication, trust, and a willingness to be open and vulnerable with each other.
Now, let's tackle something that can be a bit of a minefield, especially when dating over 40 blending families.
Right, there's a good chance one or both partners might have kids from previous relationships.
And that adds a whole new layer of complexity, doesn't it?
It's not just about two people falling in love. It's about creating a whole new family dynamic.
Right.
It's about navigating different parenting styles, establishing new routines, and figuring out how to make everyone feel loved and respected.
And that takes time, patience, and a whole lot of understanding. There will be bumps along the road, miscommunications, and maybe even some resistance from the kids. It's a process, not an overnight transformation.
So what are some tips for navigating this tricky terrain?
Communication is key. As always, talk to your partner about your expectations, your fears, your hopes for the future. Be honest and open and listen to each other's perspectives without judgment.
And it's crucial to involve the kids in the conversation as well.
Yes.
They need to feel heard and respected throughout the process. It's their lives that are changing too.
Absolutely. And set realistic expectations.
Okay.
Blending families takes time. Don't expect everyone to become instant best friends. It's a process of getting to know each other, building trust, and finding a new normal that works for everyone.
And amidst the chaos of blended family life, make sure you're carving out time for just the two of you.
Right.
It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day logistics of parenting, but your relationship needs attention too.
Exactly. Date nights, weekends away, even just a quiet evening at home after the kids are in bed. Those moments of connection are essential for maintaining a strong and healthy partnership.
Because at the end of the day, your relationship is the foundation upon which everything else is built.
Now, let's talk about something that can be a deal breaker for many women over 40. Lack of ambition. And I'm not just talking about career ambition here. It's about having a zest for life, a desire to learn and grow.
Right. She's probably got her own goals and aspirations. She's not looking for someone who's content to just sit on the couch and watch TV all day.
Exactly. She wants a partner who's driven, who's passionate about something, who's constantly striving to be the best version of himself.
And this doesn't necessarily mean having a high-powered career or making a ton of money. It's about having a sense of purpose, a direction in life, a fire in your belly that keeps you moving forward.
So if you're the type of guy who's content to just coast through life, you might not be the best fit for a woman who's got her sights set on bigger things.
Now, on the flip side, it's also important to be supportive of her ambitions.
Right. Absolutely. Don't be threatened by her success or try to hold her back. Celebrate her achievements. Be her biggest cheerleader and create a space where she can thrive.
Because a woman who feels supported and encouraged is a force to be reckoned with.
And that's someone you definitely want on your team.
Now, let's address something that can be a bit of a source of tension in any relationship. Finances. How do couples over 40 navigate money matters?
Well, for one thing, they're probably more financially established than they were in their 20s and 30s. They've got assets, maybe even some investments, but that doesn't mean there won't be disagreements.
Right, because everyone has different spending habits and financial priorities. What's important to one person might not be important to the other.
Exactly, and that's why open and honest conversations about money are crucial, especially early on in the relationship.
Talk about your financial goals, your
Yeah.
debt situation, your approach to spending and saving. Be transparent and willing to compromise.
Because it's not about who makes more money or who controls the finances.
It's about working together as a team to create a financially secure and fulfilling future that aligns with both of your goals and values.
Now let's talk about something that can be a major turnoff for women over 40. Immaturity.
Immaturity.
She's
Yes.
probably dated her fair share of man-children in her younger years.
And she's definitely not looking for a repeat performance. She's looking for a partner who's emotionally mature, responsible, and ready for a real relationship.
Exactly. So guys, what are some signs of immaturity to watch out for?
Well, for one thing, an inability to take responsibility for your actions, always blaming others, making excuses, never owning up to your mistakes. That's a major red flag.
Another sign is a lack of emotional intelligence, being unable to understand or express your emotions in a healthy way, always reacting impulsively or shutting down completely.
Right? It's about being able to communicate your feelings effectively, to empathize with others, and to manage your emotions in a way that's constructive, not destructive.
And of course, there's the classic Peter Pan syndrome,
Yeah.
the refusal to grow up.
Still living like a college student, even though you're well into adulthood.
Partying all the time, playing video games, avoiding responsibility, that's not going to fly with a woman who's got her life together.
She's not looking to be someone's mother or therapist. She's looking for a partner, an equal someone who can meet her at her level of maturity and responsibility.
So guys, if you want to attract a woman over 40, you need to step up your game, show her that you're mature, responsible, and emotionally available.
And that you're ready for a real relationship, not just a fling.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that's often overlooked in romantic relationships, friendship.
Friendship.
Because at the end of the day, you want to be with someone who's not just your lover, but also your best friend.
Someone you can laugh with, confide in, and just enjoy being around.
And that's especially important when you're over 40, wouldn't you say? I would.
You've probably got a smaller circle of close friends, and you value those relationships even more. Having that strong foundation of friendship within your romantic relationship makes it even more special.
So how do you cultivate that friendship within a romantic relationship?
Well, for one thing, make time for fun and shared experiences. Go on adventures together. Try new things. Create memories.
And don't be afraid to be silly and playful. Life's too short to take everything so seriously.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between being serious and responsible adults and letting loose and having fun together.
It's also important to be supportive of each other's dreams and goals, right?
Absolutely. Be each other's biggest cheerleaders, offer encouragement and support, and celebrate each other's successes.
And be there for each other through thick and thin, the good times and the bad.
Because that's what true friendship is all about. It's about having each other's backs no matter what.
And when you have that strong foundation of friendship, it makes the romantic relationship even stronger. It's like having the best of both worlds. Now let's talk about something that can be a real challenge in any relationship, but especially when you're dating someone over 40, dealing with stress.
Because life tends to throw more curveballs as we get older, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We've got more responsibilities, more pressure, more things to juggle: careers, families, aging parents, financial concerns. It can all add up.
So how do you handle stress without letting it take over your relationship?
Well, for one thing, it's important to have healthy coping mechanisms. What works for you?
For me, it's exercise, hitting the gym, going for a run, anything to get those endorphins pumping and clear my head. What about you?
I'm a big believer in meditation and mindfulness. Taking a few minutes each day to just breathe, to be present, to quiet the mental chatter, it makes a huge difference.
And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it, right? Whether it's from your partner, a therapist, or a trusted friend, talking about your stress can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. It's also important to create a supportive and understanding environment within your relationship.
Where you can talk about your stress without judgment, where you can offer each other support and encouragement, and where you can work together to find solutions.
Because a strong relationship can be a powerful buffer against stress.
It can.
It's about knowing that you're not alone, that you have someone in your corner who loves and supports you no matter what.
Now let's talk about something that can be tricky, dealing with difficult family members.
Ah, yes. The in-laws, not always the easiest bunch to navigate.
Exactly. And it's not just in-laws. It could be siblings, parents, anyone in that extended circle who adds a little friction.
And it's especially relevant when you're dating someone over 40 because families tend to be more established opinions, more ingrained.
So you're not just figuring out your dynamic with your partner, but also with this whole other network.
Right. And it can be tough, especially if there are preconceived notions about who you should be with how the relationship should look.
So how do you even begin to tackle that? It feels like a minefield sometimes.
Well, communication with your partner is key. Talk about your concerns, specific incidents, and how it makes you feel. Don't bottle it up.
Because resentment can build,
Yeah.
right? Like if you feel like you're constantly biting your tongue or walking on eggshells.
Exactly. And then it spills over into the relationship itself. So Talk it through, come up with strategies together, present a united front.
And boundaries are important too, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to say no to certain events or requests if they're causing too much stress.
Absolutely, setting boundaries is healthy. It's just
Yeah.
self-respect and protects your emotional well-being, and your partner should support you in that.
Because at the end of the day, your relationship with your partner is the priority, not keeping everyone else happy.
Now let's shift gears to something that's truly wonderful when you find it shared values.
This is huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you and your partner are fundamentally on different pages about life, parenting, politics, it's an uphill battle.
It's more than just liking the same movies or restaurants. Shared values are that deeper alignment, that sense of being on the same team when it comes to the big stuff.
So how do you figure out if you're truly on the same page? Can't just be a checklist, can it?
Right. It's more about those conversations, those moments where you reveal what truly matters to you.
Mhm.
What are your beliefs about family work, money, spirituality? Do they resonate with your partner's core values?
And it's not about being identical clones, but about having that fundamental respect for each other's views, even if you don't agree on everything.
Because when you share values, life just flows more smoothly. You support each other's goals, you make
Mhm.
decisions together, and there's that underlying sense of harmony.
It's like having that built-in compass pointing you both in the same direction, even when the path gets a little bumpy.
Okay, let's address something that's sadly a reality for many relationships: infidelity.
This is tough territory, but so important to talk about because if it happens, it can feel like the whole foundation of the relationship crumbles.
It's a betrayal of trust on a profound level, and it can be incredibly painful and difficult to heal from.
So if a couple is facing this, what's the first step? It feels like such a raw and emotional space.
Well, there's no one-size-fits-all answer, but communication is crucial. Even when it's the hardest thing to do, talk about what happened, why it happened, and what each person needs to even consider moving forward.
Because sometimes infidelity is a symptom of deeper issues in the relationship. Maybe there's been a lack of communication, emotional distance, unmet needs.
Right, it's not about excusing the behavior, but about understanding the context, and sometimes that understanding can lead to healing, to addressing those root causes.
But that takes a tremendous amount of work from both people, right? A willingness to be honest, vulnerable, and committed to rebuilding that trust.
And sometimes, despite the best efforts, it's not possible to repair the damage, and that's okay too. Sometimes the healthiest choice is to walk away.
Now let's talk about something that we all need, especially in a long-term relationship support.
Because life throws curveballs, right? Job losses, health scares, family dramas. We need someone in our corner.
And it's not about fixing each other's problems, but about being that steady presence, that listening ear, that source of strength when things get tough.
So what does true support look like in a relationship? It goes beyond just saying it'll be all right.
It's about showing up both physically and emotionally, being present for your partner, listening without judgment, offering words of encouragement, and helping them find resources if they need them.
It's also about knowing when to step back and give them space to process, to grieve, to find their own way through the challenge. Support isn't about control, it's about empowerment.
And, sometimes the best support comes from simply being there, holding their hand, letting them know they're not alone.
Now let's tackle a tricky emotion: jealousy. It pops up in relationships from time to time, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's that little green monster that can rear its ugly head when we feel insecure or threatened.
And it's a normal human emotion, but it's how we handle it that makes all the difference, because left unchecked, jealousy can be incredibly destructive.
So how do you deal with jealousy in a healthy way? It's easy to let it spiral into accusations and suspicion.
First, acknowledge the feeling. Don't try to suppress it or pretend it's not there. Then communicate with your partner, but do it from a place of vulnerability, not blame.
Like, hey, I'm feeling a little insecure about this situation. Can we talk about it?
Exactly, because often jealousy stems from our own insecurities, not our partner's actions. It's about building our own self-confidence and trusting in the strength of the relationship.
And remember, your partner chose you, they love you, and they want to be with you. Focus on that nurture, the connection, and those jealous twinges will lessen over time.
Okay, let's end on a high note, shall we? Let's talk about fun.
Because life's too short to be serious all the time,
Yeah.
right? Relationships should be a source of joy, laughter, and shared adventures.
So how do you keep the fun alive in a long-term relationship? It's easy to get bogged down in routine.
Well, first, prioritize it. Make time for date nights, silly outings, things that make you both laugh. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day to be goofy together, it makes a difference.
And don't be afraid to be spontaneous. Break out of that routine, surprise each other, try new things, be playful. It keeps things exciting and reminds you why you fell in love in the first place.
Because a relationship that's built on fun and laughter is a relationship that lasts.
So there you have it, folks, our deep dive into what women over 40 really need.
It's about more than just grand gestures. It's about emotional support, active listening, building trust and respect, and creating a space where you both can thrive.
Remember, a woman in her 40s knows her worth, and she's looking for a partner who can meet her on that level.
Someone who's confident, mature, emotionally intelligent, and ready for a real partnership.
So guys, step up your game. Show her that you're in it for the long haul, that you're willing to put in the effort, and that you're ready for the most amazing adventure of your life.
Thanks for joining us on Love Hackers, your daily dose of dating advice. I'm Alex Carter.
And I'm Sophie Tanaka.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this episode with your friends.
Until next time, happy hacking.